I got Mr. Charleston White on C.MAGEETV. What's going on, bro?
Say what's up with it, homie. Happy to be here.
That's what's up. So let's jump right into it. This is the founder and CEO of helping young people excel in an organization dedicated to educating teens and helping detour them from turning to crime. Is that a good assessment of what help is? What hype is?
Yes, sir. Hyped about hype youth outreach. Yeah, that's that acronym.
Okay. Cool. Okay. Texas Nigga Nation. I'm jumping right into it. You know me. I got to jump right into it. If you don't know, you about to know. I'm about to jump right into it. Okay, explain what Texas Nigga Nation do. Do y'all have like a 10-point program? Because with the Black Panthers, I see they had a 10-point program where everybody followed. Like, if I wanted to be a part of Texas Nigga Nation, how do I become part of Texas Nigga Nation? Do I have to be from Texas? Can I be from anywhere? Do y'all have a pledge, a code of conduct? How is this? How do I initiate? How I get down with Texas Nigga Nation?
Your heart and spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Your heart and spirit. Texas Nigga Nation come from Texas Nigger Nation, Nigger, which was created by a guy that we call Pops. The old man. He was born in 1945. He went to Vietnam, and when he came back from Vietnam for fighting for his country, he saw his people was over here fighting for their rights, getting done how they was done. So him, being who he was, man, he opened up a club in the early 80s, late 70s called Texas Nigga Nation. And there was a sign on top of the club that said Texas Nigga, Nigger. And that's the name of our ancestors before we even had names. That's a race of people was called that. They heard that word before they died. They heard that word when they was born. And so he took that word, embraced that word, and created this organization called Texas Nigger. Me and you can't be that. We can never be a Nigger. For one, we don't know what them people had to go through, what they had to endure being called that, right? So he called himself Nigger, coming from the 40s. We come along from that word nigger to us saying nigga. It transformed, right? So think about the people who was called nigger. Their children didn't want to be called nigger. The people who was called nigger really didn't have a problem being called nigger. They was more concerned about how they was treated and mistreated compared to what they was called. Their children came along and some became colored, some became Negro. Then it was black, right? So when you think of Dr. King them era, you think of the Negro. Dr. King often spoke of the Negro in this country. Once we got rights and we start embracing blackness. I'm black and I'm proud. The Black Panther Party, black exploitation films. So you think in the 70s, right? So then we evolved to African Americans. That term doesn't derive until the 80s by way of Jesse Jackson. We're not Africans. The slave wasn't African. The first group of slaves were. But once international slavery became prohibited, slaves were created. They were made in America. They had slave breeding forms, right? So we go to African American. You got Richard Pryor era using the word nigger, Dick Gregory using the word nigger. It really wasn't embraced because we was black and we was proud. Then we come along, niggas with attitudes, right? So we take on the word nigga. You don't hear nobody say, man, I'm a proud black man. You hear guys say, I'm a real nigga. I'm a street nigga. So we take on the word nigga. So what I did, knowing the history of the word, knowing that there's a class war in the black community between those of us who call ourselves nigga, versus the African Americans, the blacks, the Negroes, and the others. So, man, I adopted the word nigga after hearing Tupac express never ignorant, getting goals accomplished, strictly for my niggas.
Have you had any black backlash from taking it from Tupac? Because Tupac is known around the globe. I know a lot of people
from his fans.
From the fans.
But I'm gonna break that down too.
Okay.
So I took it understanding it, the old niggas, who we are and how we use the word as a term of camaraderie, as a term of endearment, as a term of love. And so I embraced the word. And then I took it further, the birth of a new nation. The birth of a new nation called niggas. Understanding that when they was calling those people nigga, the word nigga didn't mean you ignorant. That don't mean ignorant. Them people couldn't speak English.
Right. Let me ask you this question. We know from a lot of street gangs, a lot of organization that was founded in the streets, and you know how they have stop stitching, they have, all these little street rules that wasn't like written in concrete. It wasn't on paper. It wasn't. Do Texas Nigga Nation have a code of conduct? Because I think that's what's missing. That's what's missing, because we can't say where this came from, or is there a rule book? They need a rule book. They need a code of conduct book.
It was only one commandment, homie. Love thy brother. We don't need no rule book.
Okay.
You love your brother. You want for your brother what you want for yourself. This is a nation of people who was trapped in bondage. We don't need a rule book. We got examples. The niggas, they built Black Wall Street. Them people was called nigga. 1920, Black Wall Street was built by people who was called nigga. They built Black Wall Street under worse conditions than what we live under today. So why we can't build a Black Wall Street? They did. They was being hung. We ain't never seen a nigga hung. No offense to this guy, but he's in a studio full of black people working.
Facts.
Back in the day, it'll be all white guys and the nigga be working.
Facts.
You see what I'm saying? So we got it so good to where we don't deserve what we have. We should be enslaved. Today's black people, those people deserve the freedom that we have. They worked for it. They died for it. We ain't worked for a motherfucking thing. So rather than us giving a rule book, all we need to do is go back and look at the niggas. Them people had land. Them people knew how to grow food. And niggas didn't kill niggas. Them people back in them days that was called nigga, they didn't kill each other. They didn't cross one another. So we got a rule book. Those people go back to what our ancestors used to do. Grow their own food, build their own houses, eat at their own restaurants. They done commerce with white people. They done business with white people. Mr. John up the road used to come buy chickens and eggs from niggas. So we got a rule book, homie. We got rules. We got a code to follow. Go back to what our ancestors and our grandmothers and them used to teach us. That's the nigga nation.
Okay.
We taking on what our ancestors them tried to give us. You don't kill your own kind. The 10 Commandments, it was for Hebrews. Thou should not kill thou. Thou should not steal from thou. That's the rule book. See what I'm saying? To build a nation.